Hello, everybody. View crew, Schmodown fans. Welcome to a certain point of view here on the channel. This is the usual Sunday evening show here on the channel. We are excited to have everyone back here. We've been going strong for the past couple weekends, but we actually haven't done a show in 2 weeks because we were taking part in the Schmath-a-thon last weekend. Excuse me. It's such a tongue twister for me. I don't know why, but it is.
I've only said it 900 times, so it's...
I still can't get a hang on it. But yeah, we're here to hang out and talk some really cool Schmodown with a really cool guest. Very, very excited to talk to Haleigh Foutch. But before we bring her on, how's everybody doing? How's everybody hanging on this nice Sunday evening?
I'm tired. I
feel pretty good today. We slept in yesterday and today. We made some beef stew. Played some video games.
Sean made us some pretty solid pulled pork sandwiches last night.
Ooh, nice.
With mac and cheese. It was pretty bomb.
Nice.
Yes. My mom came up on Saturday and Jake recommended
I spent $12 on microwave pulled pork.
It was good. Don't. I try and compliment, and then you ask to correct me. Listen. Let them pretend that you slaved over a stove making pulled pork.
You're not Adam Collins. You don't have to correct people.
Yeah, you're not Adam Collins. You don't have to correct.
No, and I mean, so my mom came up Saturday because she's going to my sister's for Thanksgiving. Jake recommended a burger place downtown, and that place was delicious.
Yum.
It was it was like a bacon, blue cheese, garlic, aioli sauce.
Oh my god.
Anything
with blue cheese on it is prime.
It was very, very good.
Yeah. Don't I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I am not in the mood today.
I don't want to get on Jill's bad side. I do not want to get on Jill's bad side. So before we get to bringing out our guests, I do want to say a couple things up top here. I know some people have been asking about our segment on the Smash-a-thon, and we're going to try and get that on the channel here in the next week or so. That'll be playing on here as well. I know a couple of the channels are doing the same thing, and so you'll see that here. And then for this week, because it is Thanksgiving, we will be pre-recording Thursday's reaction because the match is still dropping on Thursday, and it'll air directly after the match on Thursday. And so you'll still see one from us on Thursday. It just won't be live. It'll be pre-recorded. And
so
then
we'll
be
back on Friday. If you're in the chat and you're talking to us, we're not ignoring you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we'll be back on Friday, and then we'll be back on Sunday as well. So that's just a little caveat with the holiday. So, but yeah, I mean,
I think maybe I'm not doing anything. I'll just do a singular one-off.
Just Brian. It's gonna be a one-man show.
Brian just plays himself Brian. 4 times.
Oh, he still
wins.
I think I'll be free that night.
Oh, there you go.
Fair. Okay, well, I mean, I think we should just get to our guest. I think we should bring on our guest. We have the fantastic Haleigh Foutch, one half of the Witching Power, joining us. Welcome to A Certain Point of View.
Hi. Hello.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Welcome to the party.
Is this your first Schmodown after show?
Oh, I'm getting big frozen screens. So apologies if I'm just acting like the weirdest person in the world.
No worries.
You're fine.
No worries. There you are. You're all moving.
We're good. Hello.
Is this your first time taking part in a Schmodown after show?
I believe so. Yes.
Ooh.
Yay.
Awesome.
We're the first.
Yeah, people in the chat are loving it. There you go. So we always start with we have our guests on, our first time guests anyway. We always ask them, what is it about the Schmodown that's so special, or what does it mean to you to partake in it, and kind of that keeps bringing you back every time to play. So what is it about the movie trivia Schmodown?
So that's kind of probably a 2-part answer, because at first it was just I really liked the vibe of friends playing movie trivia together, and especially virtually, which I guess makes more sense in this year than it did before, because we do everything virtually now, and it's really hard to get that experience in person. But I did always like that opened it up to a much bigger audience and arena, and that kind of leads to the second point, what has made me want to keep being a part of it the most is interacting with folks and getting to know the community and the support, and there's a lot of kindness and generosity of spirit that just keeps me really intrigued to keep playing, even when I'm like, I super don't have the brain power for movie trivia with work and everything. Oh, the people are so nice.
That's fair. That is very fair. I mean, the fans come out for you. The fans come out for you. They come out for the witching power, and it's clear that you guys are big fan favorites in the community. So you've done it right so far.
I know, Frozen. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, Haleigh, no.
I'm sorry, repeat that part again. I got glitched.
There we go. Okay,
no worries, no worries. I was just saying how much the community has embraced you guys, you and Perry and the witching power, and how much the community has loved you guys when you guys are competing and everything the past couple months.
It's been so wonderful. Definitely at the start of the season, the draft made me really nervous because, like, as you guys have probably noticed, trash talk and really intense character work and like that side of it isn't so much my thing. I like being positive and having fun, and so landing with Koi was just such a relief. And then seeing the whole roster on the Quirky Merks is just like, these are like really nice, great people. Perry on perfection, just couldn't be more pleasant, wonderful. And I'm so glad that the fans rallied around, because we do really love each other.
Oh, and you could tell too, like when we were doing the reaction to your last match, we were like, we love just how much fun they're having and how positive they are, and it's just so good just to have these fun, clean, positive, happy-go-lucky matches. Like sometimes we don't need that mean character work every single match. Like we need this dose of just happy positivity, and you guys effing killed it at that, and it was so much fun watching you two compete. And you could just tell that you two are having such a freaking blast doing it. It was really a joy to watch, and we're so bummed you're not in the tournament anymore, but we are rooting hardcore for Witching Power to be reunited next season, and we will revolt if it does not happen.
Yeah, a lot of people will.
Very much so.
Well, Molly, did you have anything
I really hope so.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, we want more witching power.
I just because it's that dang draft. You never know what's going to happen. It's that same anxiety again. So I'm right there with you, with the fingers crossed and ready to revolt.
I feel like if there's one manager to try to keep all of his players, it's Koi Janger.
I think so.
Like I feel like he's the one manager to try to keep every single person he has on his team this year.
Yeah,
I could see that happening.
I agree. Except for Molly, he's gonna.
Yeah, you took what I was gonna say.
Everyone keeps saying he's going to draft me, but we'll just have to see.
He's gonna do it.
I think
He'll be a Merc. He'll be a Merc. Molly, did you have anything you wanted to ask Haleigh?
Watch him.
I don't.
I know. Haleigh, we lost you.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Oh, she's back. Are you back? Can you hear us?
Hey guys, I am just glitching so bad. I don't know what the right thing to do is. Would it be better if I jumped out and came back? I'm so sorry to whoever I'm in.
No. You're fine. Okay, yeah, you could totally try. Come back. Yeah.
Okay, I will be right back. So sorry.
Okay.
No problem.
You're good. You're
right. No problem. Hey, it's you know what? It's the digital age. Like it happens.
It happens.
I mean, we went through issues. I mean, I've had my issues. We've all had our issues.
We should have that scroll across the screen right now, edited by Nerd.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. That would be incredible.
You're totally. Go ahead, Molly.
Sorry, what I was gonna say is, watch. So if Koi does draft me, then that'll be me going heel. I'll be the one heel in the Quirky Merks.
That would be so funny, just him being like, no, Molly, we're good guys.
I was just going to say that the interaction between you and Koi when that happens would be incredible.
Oh my god.
It'd be so good.
I'd be like, this wasn't the plan.
I could just see the Nerd Chronic promos of him just pulling all the times you rooted against the Mercs, and like then you get drafted, and it's like
Poor Koi's not here to defend himself with the whole internet connection thing, but the joke's still good. The joke's still good.
kind of a Merks thing, isn't it? At this point,
I think it is kind of a solid.
Yeah, you're right. Bibiani, Brendan,
Bibbs throws during a match. Brendan has his things. Koi's up and down.
Koi has to go outside.
Koi has to go outside.
All right, she's back. Let's see if the Shmonati is better. There we go. Perfect. Molly, we can go right back to you. Did you have anything you wanted to ask Haleigh?
Yeah. So I know you and Perry have known each other for a while and have done the podcast and everything. Is there, like, besides talking about like horror genre type stuff, is there another genre that you and Perry just like really love to geek out over, or like a specific movie franchise?
That's very funny. We outside of horror don't have a lot of the same passions. Like I'm super duper into I'm a huge action person and she's not so much, and she likes a lot of like awards contendery, more serious dramas, which I kind of like don't. So I'm trying to think like what do we nerd out on that isn't horror together? I mean, mostly just like the love of movies in general. And because we are friends outside of work, a lot of times we're just like nerding out on being friends and talking about like our lives and supporting each other and things like that. But I would say more so than genres, it's like people that we share a really strong enthusiasm. Just one that comes off the top of my head. We both really love Toby Kebbell. So it'll be random things like that where we find really nerd niches that we share.
That's great. I mean, that works perfectly for a team to kind of have those different interests, so they kind of balance each other out. That's great.
100%. Oh, that's so cute. Your guys' relationship makes me so happy. Like, I love it. It's so cute.
Oh, me too. It's really, really hard not to love Perry.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
so true.
We've had her on twice, and every time she's on, I'm like, can she come back next week? Because she's freaking great. Like,
yeah,
we love Perry here.
Brian, did you have anything you wanted to ask Haleigh?
Yeah, so you obviously work for Collider. What got you into like movies and doing that as a career? Maybe even like some steps that you took towards doing that, because I mean, I know a lot of people, fans of Schmodown, like that would be a dream job to kind of, myself included, to work and watch movies and stuff like that. So what got you into that?
Totally. So I was that person. I just my whole life was always a huge movie fan. Like the original credit, I think, goes to my dad, who was a nerd, and totally passed it on to me. And then I worked at a movie theater for my first job, and then I ended up becoming a manager at the movie theaters, and then I became a projectionist, which was the best job. Doesn't really exist anymore, but it was the best because you could just watch pieces of movies all day upstairs between work. And then when I went to school, I didn't directly study film, but I continued to movie theater, and I think learned a lot of writing, research, and time management skills that are super important in doing that kind of work. When I moved to LA, no jobs. It just was not a good time to try to find jobs when I came home. So I took an internship at Collider that was unpaid, and basically Steve Weintraub, Frosty, is a pretty decent man of his word, and was like, if you can hack it, we'll hire you, because it's very hard and a lot of people don't realize how much work it is. And I attempted to hack it for many years and eventually got hired. So it really was just like logical steps of learning the appropriate skills, putting in the time. And I think in terms of like, if you want to do something like that, the best advice is to build up a portfolio now. Don't wait till you think you have whatever resources you need. If you can't, get a job writing somewhere, start your own blog or your own thing. and build it from there. Build a social media fan base and start with that. Make sure that your opinions are getting out in a way that forces you to learn how to say them the best way, to reflect on movies differently. And just, I guess my advice is don't wait to put in the work, because nobody's going to wait for you.
That's solid.
It's great advice.
Yeah. That's super solid advice.
Jill, did you have anything?
Yeah, kind of more, actually very more Schmodown related. You said that obviously you were stoked when you got drafted by Coy Jandrew, but if you had to pick another manager to be in a faction with, who would you like to be your manager other than Mr. Coy Jandrew?
That's such a hard question.
That's a very hard question.
Oh boy. Well, very hard. Feels traitorous to even suggest, but I do.
I like to stir the pot a little
Liz bit, and have been so impressed by what she did, and adore her. She's incredible. So, yeah, Winston would seem a natural. Like, also solid. Very positive, good energy, choice. And I really, it's really clear. Yeah, really clear that he's good. By how, not that to take away from Liz, who is like brilliant, but you can watch him pull her out of like maybe going down the wrong thought path, and he's clearly very good at that, which I think is what Perry and I both need to help keep us stay positive.
Yep, I love that. That's a totally solid answer. We love Winston here. We have a whole bunch of swag shills that like are all over our chat. Yep, drip.
Yep.
So.
Right.
Chuck being one of the biggest ones.
I was rooting so hard for Liz.
We were all rooting for Liz. Yeah.
And watching her compete is just so much fun. I loved it.
Okay,
She's
so we have
wonderful.
a question.
I cannot say enough good things about Liz.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was great when she came on too. She was a lot of fun when we had her on here.
She was a lot of fun.
Oh no, I'm super delayed again. Sorry.
It's okay. It's fine.
No, you're good,
fine.
Haleigh. It's okay. Fine. No worries. No worries. We do have a question from a commenter though. Brian here. He wants to know what your favorite horror film is.
I struggle with this kind of question because I love so many movies, but like my faves, because I can't pick one, are The Thing, Scream, Alien, and The Descent, I think, is crawling in there. I really like monsters, and I really like Wes Craven. So my energy.
Solid.
The Descent is a good
what about
one.
You guys? What are your favorite horror movies?
Oh God.
I know The Descent is probably one of Alex's favorite horror movies because I had never seen it, and early on when we started dating, he was like, I don't typically watch horror movies, but if you haven't seen The Descent, we should watch it. And I was like, okay. And we watched it, and I was like, yeah, that's a horror movie.
that's a horror movie. For me, I'd say my favorite classic horror movie is definitely The Exorcist. My favorite new age horror.
You're obsessed with that movie. You're absolutely obsessed with that movie.
Because it's brilliant. Why would I not be obsessed with it? It's so freaking good. And then my favorite new age horror is definitely Sinister. Just don't watch the sequel. Just do not watch the sequel.
That's fair. Brian, do you have a favorite horror movie?
What's your favorite horror movie?
Haleigh, I'm a big wuss with scary movies. So I'm like, Star Wars isn't scary. No. I mean, Jake, would you consider, I mean, right now I'm really into Ready or Not. And that I don't know.
That's like a thriller.
I would say that's like an action thriller. Yeah.
For me.
Brian, you can say something like Don't Breathe.
Oh, I love Don't Breathe.
It's close enough.
Don't Breathe. I'm trying to think what else.
Cabin in the Woods.
You liked Invisible Man. That's kind of
Invisible Man. That right up my alley. Because I'm sitting there like, holy crap. He could scare me at any time. So yeah, Invisible Man would probably be. I like A Quiet Place too. Those ones are.
You like more suspense horror is more up your vibe.
Yeah, I'm not a gory person. Like I just watched some. Oh, like Kill Bill. Like I was just like, Okay, people's heads are squirting
So
blood.
much blood.
Yeah. So yeah. What about you, Mr. Berlin?
I mean, I like some of the classics. Like I like Alien as one I always go to. It's a classic. As far as a modern one, I always go. It Follows is an absolute favorite of mine. And yeah, I'm not a big horror fan, but I'll find one every once in a while that kind of really clicks with me. And I like The Thing and the original stuff like that too. But yeah, I would definitely go more towards like the Alien vibe. And then something like It Follows, like in that realm.
Now, Haleigh, did your dad get you into horror films too?
Yeah. He liked them, but he was super strict, so I wasn't allowed to watch them. But that I kind of still, because I would like watch from the stairway and like peek. So he kind of is responsible for that. But I think also it's part of that. A lot of times what you don't have accessible becomes the most intriguing. So I'm sure that like I've written about this, but the first actual horror movie I ever saw was Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors, and it like totally messed me up because I had been completely unprepared for cinema like that.
Oh my God,
and I think
no
that
way.
because I had never had a taste of it, like when I finally did, it was so much more intense.
That's a very intense introduction into horror. That's for sure.
I will not watch those.
Brian, I want to do a watch along with you with those.
No.
Of Nightmare?
No, I'll probably watch anything but Nightmare. That I don't like the ones that like
feel real.
Could seem real, like Final Destination. There is no way. I will
okay,
not
but
leave.
like the later Final Destinations are like real freaking cheese.
Like I'm gonna be like crawling on the ground, afraid to walk because of those movies. That's not happening.
Because your leg is just gonna snap in half because you stepped on one wrong stair. Like that doesn't happen.
Or water. They seemed like water would drip and no, not happening.
I still panic every time there's a water bottle in my car because I'm afraid it's gonna fall.
Yes.
And get behind my brake pedal
every time. Oh my God.
That's like the freaking trailer, like the log that goes through the car. If I see a log truck, I'm going on the opposite lane.
I'm not
maybe even
this
park
log
it.
truck.
It's not happening. No,
that's fair. That's fair. Molly, did you
I was gonna say, thank God there's no more VHSs because then the ring can't happen. So it's not happening.
There might be a DVD version.
I know.
DVD version. Who knows?
It's not happening.
Because we do have a Streamlabs for Haleigh, and it's actually the one that Kylie had asked.
Sweet. When
Perry was here a couple weeks ago. But Molly, did you have any favorite horror movies? Because I know you're big into horror.
Oh yeah. I also am a big Exorcist fan. I like anything paranormal, like the Paranormal Activity movies. I love The Conjuring is like one of the newer.
That one interests me.
You'd like Conjuring. You'd like The Conjuring.
It's just it hits all the right notes for me and what I want in a horror movie. It's got suspense. It's got like jump scares. The Invitation is another one that I really like. That one might be more thriller than horror, but it's so good. I make people watch it all the time just because I want to see their reactions.
That's fair. Okay, so this question was asked when Perry was here a few weeks ago, and the second it was asked, she goes, "Save that for Haleigh when she is on." So this is a question that is completely for you, Haleigh, and it's asked from one of our patrons, Kylie, and she had said that because we have a makeup chat in our Discord, which is very popular between all the ladies in our Discord, she wants to know what a Quirky Merks palette would look like if colors or whatever it may be.
Oh, how fun. I love it. I think really bright colors, a lot of glitter, really stupid punny names for all the eyeshadows.
Oh my God. Perfect.
You have to have like a some kind of base color in there, but otherwise it should probably just be really ridiculous. But where?
Yeah.
What
so
would
perfect.
I mean, I guess because the logo is specific colors, but do you see like a color for the Quirky Merks that kind of like is like that's a Merc color?
It is hard not to think of the logo with the reds and the yellows and the blues.
Yeah.
It's so bold.
Yeah.
But I do think those really, really bold colors suit us. I don't know, maybe like a lime green or a hot pink or something just really energetic and kind of fun and throwbacky. And
there's got to be like a bright orange in there called Spidey Cat.
Yes.
yes. Oh, that's another great idea. Just one that's based off of everybody's cats. I would totally buy that.
Yes.
Oh, like yeah, because you, Perry,
that'd be more like a neutral energy.
Yes.
The whole faction has cats. That's right.
The Mercs, the main Mercs palette would be like the 16 colors, and then there'd be like a mini cat palette that has like 9. Like, I can see it.
Does anybody feel like after this year, like, and I love the Mercs logo, but does anybody feel like the logo should be Spidey Cat?
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah.
He should be somewhere.
Somewhere. I feel like Spidey Cat's got to be somewhere on the logo, right?
100%.
Or like you were like Molly was talking about, like how Spider-Man suit has the backpack with the cat sticking out.
The Merc has the backpack.
The Merc has the backpack with Spidey Cat sticking out of it.
That's a good call, Brian Ward. If you're listening,
that's a great idea.
I give you permission to steal my idea.
Gotta throw in a splash of Deadpool in there somewhere.
Of course. I mean,
it's got
as if the Mercs, as if Quirky Merks isn't enough Deadpool. We need more in there.
That's fair. So I do want to ask Haleigh, since unfortunately you guys aren't in the tournament anymore, and I know that it's hard to pick against someone who ended up beating you guys, but do you see a team that you look at when you look at this team's tournament is like, wow, that team I don't think can be beat, or I see them winning the tournament and going on to play in Spectacular?
I'm so sorry. I need you to repeat the first half.
It's all good. Do you see a team that is kind of like the favorite in your mind? And I know it's hard to pick against a team that just beat you. So I know that when we had Zipper on, he was like, well, it's hard to not pick against the Witching Power because they just ended up beating us. But outside of the Founding Fathers, maybe, is there someone you see that could end up winning this tournament overall?
Oh, I mean, everybody that's left is pretty fierce at this point.
I know. That's what we said too.
Pardon my brain, but Marisol and Adam's team are terrifying.
Yes.
Adam's just terrifying in general.
Deception. Yep.
Thank you.
Deception is
there. And then combine them. That's kind of my pick.
Same. Same. I have them winning the whole thing.
I think we all did.
I think we're all pretty much.
It was hard for me to pick them, but after that first match, I was just like, oh God, I'm scared.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very fair. It is very, very fair. It's going to be fun. I mean, look, we have the Founding Fathers versus Final Exam, and we have Odd Couple versus Deception, and we have 4 incredible teams left. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Obviously, no Witching Power, which is a bummer. But you guys, I mean, look, you guys played great together, and especially, I'll say this too. It's hard to play nowadays because of the digital aspect and everything. And your first match was a big play-in match to this tournament. Like that was the first time we had seen you all year. How is it to kind of adjust to the digital age? And I mean, did you enjoy it? Was it fun? Was there anything that you kind of didn't like about it? Because who knows when we'll get back to the regular Showdown playing.
Yeah, back to regular life, man. I like it for certain reasons. It's like, I think I would have done pretty well with it in singles because it does suit a lot of my personality traits. Like I could have a cat in my lap the whole time calming me down. You don't know. It's awesome. I love that. I love the privacy, all of that. But I do think it's a lot harder playing in teams because you cannot, there's just something about having what's supposed to be a private conversation on camera is super weird. And it makes it more challenging to communicate openly, I think. And we practiced we did a few practice matches. Bibbs was super helpful and he's so wonderful. And that was one of the most hard things to get over. The hardest things to get over was just being comfortable with saying something that's supposed to be private for everyone to see.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Yeah, and that's something we talked about with the digital age, is it's so interesting just seeing these teams having these discussions, because we've never gotten to see that before, but we can literally see it happening in real time, these discussions to like come up with this answer and to like be like, do you know this? I don't know. Do you know? And it's like, you don't really want to say, I don't know it, but you kind of have to explain to your partner, I have no clue. It's like, so it's been very interesting to see, and I kind of hope that kind of sort of continues if we do it in the studio, just because it's really interesting. But like, I also see why they wouldn't want that to happen. But it's just been a very different year, just in general. So, but
yeah, as fans, it's just cool to see that conversation being had in real time and out loud. That's something that we've never gotten before. It just adds kind of a whole new intrigue into the team's games.
I think in some ways it maybe like interferes with a lot of the character bullshitting too, because you know, if you know the answer, it's harder to sit there and like put on a show and pretend that you don't, because everyone's watching what you say to your partner.
Yeah.
It's an interesting, it does. It changes everything. Like you guys are saying, it totally changes the dynamic.
Yeah, because you can't really be in character as you're discussing what the answer is with your teammate. So it's like it kind of breaks like that kayfabe kind of thing mid-match, and it's really interesting, kind of weird, kind of like Inception kind of nonsense, but like it's been very interesting.
Could you imagine if? And I know this is ridiculous, but could you imagine if Christian was like, okay, everything's going to be said on screen, even when you guys are talking to each other, but you have to stay in character.
Oh my God.
Like, could you imagine the conversations that would happen between some of these players? Like, for example, Paul and Lon, or someone like in character mode while this is happening?
There's no way. So many people would lose just because they have to stay in character doing that. There's no way. Like, that's not possible. No.
It'd be a lot of fun to see, though.
It'd be fun, but like they would literally, no.
We already saw Andrew Guy do that in singles.
And look what happened.
But not really like I guess. I'm saying team aspect. I'm seeing team aspect. That's what I'm saying.
So Haleigh, I have a question. You've obviously stated that you love being on Koi's team. How is he as like a manager? Because correct me if I'm wrong, you've never had a manager before Koi. So how is it having like that person to talk to you guys in between rounds, giving you input, all that stuff? Do you like it, or would you rather be kind of still doing your own thing? How's that?
I think it's great. It forces you, and I kind of referred to this earlier, but it forces you to like snap the heck out of it and like not get so into your head, which is a problem I suffer from as a person and a competitor. But it just like, especially with somebody like Koi, there's like this radiant human there to like shake you out of your bullshit, and it's awesome. That for me is definitely the most useful part. He comes in, he talks to you, and you have a better time. And it does, I think I said this, it was either this match or the last one, but like there is a comfort to just knowing that your team has your back, whether you win or lose. That you don't have that if you don't have a faction, if you don't have a manager, you're on your own, right? So all you have left is you to kick your ass. And this is way better. Big ups for having a happy manager as opposed to a sad self.
Definitely. I hope the next match that Koi is in, the thing where you put your name into StreamYard, it says Radiant Human.
Yes.
That should just be his title.
Yeah.
Koi Jandrew, the radiant human. Love it.
If he ever plays again, that's 100% his nickname. It's 100% his nickname.
The radiant human, yeah.
Okay, so we do have another Streamlabs that has come through, and this is from Mr. Canada Rock. So thank you so much for the donation. And he says, welcome to POV, Haleigh. What is your favorite horror film of 2020 so far? You can include streaming and even series if you'd like. Also, I was screaming The Hustle at my TV during your last match. Hope to see you next year.
Man, I wish I was screaming The Hustle. I couldn't never if we had 5 times as long the time to guess, I never would have got that. It's just one of those that you either know it or you don't, and I straight up did not know it.
None of us knew it.
We didn't know it either.
That was a tough one. Like I'll say in terms of 5-point questions, that was on the harder scale of ones I've received. And I should like to never have it again. Or any questions about The Hustle again, let's say, because now I know that one. Favorite horror movies this year? I love The Invisible Man. I thought that was really pretty impeccably made. Some of the best like jaw-dropping plays or set pieces that I've seen. That restaurant scene
is wild.
I was messaging these guys when I was watching it because they had already seen it, and as soon as I saw the restaurant scene, I was like, "What the heck?"
But used other verbiage.
Yeah.
I love that. I also let's see, Relic. I love Relic. I thought that was a really beautiful movie. It's very sad and dark and like made me cry a lot, but in a scary way.
Oh no!
That's kind of what I like about horror, though. Is it's like deal with your existential problems, but we're gonna make it be scary, so it's fun. But that one's very existential and definitely got me good.
Ooh,
those are I think those are my 2 favorites. I feel like I should shout out something really small that's cool, but whenever I get asked these questions, all I can think of is like really popular films. So I'm the worst. And all that time, I was just trying to buy time to come up with one, and I still couldn't.
That's fine. We love popular movies.
Did you watch The Haunting of Bly Manor? Did you like that?
I love it so much. Yes. That's another one that makes me cry, but in a really beautiful way. I actually don't think it's very scary, and I'm not into like slapping really strict labels on things for what's horror and what's not because it's so personal. But I do see that more as like a gothic romance than straight up horror. And once I think it took me getting okay with it not being scary to fully love it, but then I was just swept away.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen. I watched this one recently. I think it's called The Taking of Deborah Logan. That one got recommended to me, and I don't know if that's considered like a smaller scale movie, but that one scared the crap out of me. It's one of those like it's one of those like possession movies that just like makes you feel very uncomfortable.
Ooh, I need to check it out. I love a good possession movie.
You do.
I love a good possession movie.
I want to be very uncomfortable when I watch my horror movies. So I loved it.
I'll check that one out.
That's fair. We do have another Streamlabs that has come through. This is from Draft Jake. And Draft Jake, aka Kylie, says, "How do you feel of the chance that next season you get to play the great Jake the Wall Berlin?"
Oh my god!
Which is this one right here?
Yeah, there's this thing going around with a couple people in the space.
Jake the Wall Berlin. Yeah, that's the name.
We can just move on from now. No, I don't know what to say to it. That's why. Like, I don't know, like it, and it's just continuing. Like, it's just a continuing thing.
I love that you just don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. I really don't.
I feel like it's something people are joking about, but people are celebrating it. Like,
yep,
it's possible.
It's a thing.
I mean, you are number 2 on Frank Janish's board.
You are number 2.
Stop it.
You are number 2 of 2
Stop
on Frank
Stop it.
Janish's track.
Okay, so I think it's only right that we finish off this conversation with Haleigh with the biggest question of all here on POV, and that is, one, what is your go-to movie snack, and what is your favorite candy?
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Hard questions at the end, I guess.
We had to kind of make them separate because it was like not everybody eats candy while they watch movies. Some people have like a preference of one or the other. So
totally. I worked at movie theaters too long to enjoy popcorn as much as I should, but it smells like sadness and overtime to me. But I said it tastes good. It just smells sad.
That may be the greatest, and I love popcorn, but that may be the greatest description of movie theater popcorn I've ever heard.
It smells like sadness and overtime.
That is so good. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm gonna steal that. Holy shit, that's so good.
I mean, lately it's just like postmating whatever the hell I feel like, which is so terrible. But what else do you do in social distancing? It's like my favorite movie snack is whatever I feel like.
Yeah. Yes.
I do, like when I go to theaters, I do always enjoy the awful nachos for some reason. They're so bad, but
so
they
good.
hit a spot.
Yeah,
they're so salty, and
that
the
fake nacho cheese out of the machine is like there's something about it where it's it's fake as shit, but it's just so magical. It just hits the right spot. Like it's so good.
It's so good, and I don't like. I can make cheese sauce at home that's objectively better, but it never tastes as good. It's not a good thing to admit out loud, but it is a fact. So I do enjoy those. Candy, my favorite candy is one I had in Australia, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's honeycomb inside of milk chocolate, and it's
Tim Tams?
the best thing ever.
Are the Tim Tams?
Tim Tams those are good, but it's a different thing. I would have Googled it if I had known such hard questions were being lobbied.
I'll look it up.
It's
We're gonna
delicious.
find out.
And this is one of my favorite things about getting to travel was like trying all the regional drinks and candies and the things they love in different countries. And that is my favorite one I've had.
Yes.
That sounds so good.
We have some friends, some Australian friends that do a Star Wars podcast, and they've sent us care packages every once in a while of the Australian Tim Tams, which they do sell Tim Tams in America, but they are not the same.
They are not the same. Nope, they are not the same.
Yeah.
Haleigh, is it called
And we
Violet
certainly don't have the variety.
Yeah.
Violet crumble.
That sounds,
Is that?
yeah, I think so.
Ooh.
Is it?
I saw one that was also called like crummies or crumbles or something like that.
I'm seeing Violet, Crumble, and oh shoot, where'd the other one go?
I have a new order to place.
Crunchy.
With my Australian
Crunchy.
friends.
There you go. Crunchy.
Crunchy was the other one.
Okay, Violet Crumble sounds more correct to what I actually had when I was in Australia, but the reason I got confused is because Crunchy is what they sell at my local liquor store. So yes, you're right on both counts.
That looks
There you go.
good.
That
I want to
sounds
try
good.
that.
Ooh.
It's delicious. It is like probably your dentist would come to your house and personally remove it from your hands because the honeycomb goes way up in your teeth. So what I'm saying is take care of your teeth should you choose to indulge in one, but they're awesome.
Make sure to have floss readily available.
Yes.
We got an Australian candy on the list now. Interesting.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's a good
Look at
one. That's
that.
different.
Ooh,
I like
That's a
it.
very good one.
Love to come
well,
in with
Haleigh,
a curveball.
yeah, very much a curveball, but it's a good curveball. It's a good curveball. We sometimes get like the super typical ones, and then other times we get a super random one that we've never heard of, which is nice. So it's a fun question to ask, that's for sure.
Yep.
But yeah,
Got
so
the Canadian one from Brendan, didn't
from
we?
Brendan, the
that's
peach-
right.
Oh yeah,
That's
peach
right.
thing.
the
It
peach
was
thing.
like peach rings, but whatever the Canadian version of them are.
Yeah.
Canada Rocks will tell us. Tell us in the
Canada-
chat. The peach things.
Yeah, the peach things.
The peach things candy.
Brendan, another radiant human.
Yeah. Oh my
God.
I love Brendan Meyer. He's
So
a freaking sweetheart. I love him so much.
Maynard Fuzzy Peaches.
Maynard Fuzzy Peaches.
It's honestly that's like a very unappealing name. Fuzzy Peaches.
A fuzzy peach.
It's just like a super unappealing name to me anyway. For candy, I mean.
I don't want fuzzy candy.
Yeah. I don't want the fuzzy candy.
Exactly.
Look at you. Rachel's already ordering some of them now.
There we go.
That's awesome. Well, Haleigh, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And I know that there were little internet issues, but no worries here. It was awesome to get to talk with you for a little while and get to know you inside the Schmodown and outside the Schmodown. And we cannot wait to see you back next year in singles and teams. And hopefully it's with the Witching Power.
Witching Power forever.
Yes.
I hope so. Thank you guys so much for having me and bearing with this ridiculous delay. You guys are awesome and so kind. And it's so lovely to see those of you I've met and meet those of you I haven't.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, stay safe, and we look forward to talking with you more in the future.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
I love them. Can we just have all the Quirky Merks on?
I know.
We have gone. I want to see how many people in the Quirky Merks we've actually had. Like we've had
Shazam. We've had Witching Power. We
had Mara. We had Mara for Ladies' Night.
We had Koi multiple times.
Yeah, we're going through the roster.
He's like Beetlejuice. You say his name a few times, and
you say his name a few times, and he'll be like, "Send me the link."
Well, I do want to say before we move on, because we'll preview these upcoming matches this week a little bit. For those of you in the chat, thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with us and asking those questions to Haleigh. Of course, you guys have questions for us. Anything that's upcoming for this week in Schmodown or anything in the future, let us know because Spectacular is right around the corner, guys. It's coming up hot, and we're going to be breaking that down here very, very soon. And so, if you guys have questions for this upcoming week or in future weeks, go ahead and shoot them at us. And Tim Sim negative Ghost Rider. Don't put that on us. But yeah, so we have two gigantic matches this week. We have Odd Couple and Deception, and then we have Founding Fathers and Final Exam. Let's go ahead and start with the first one. Odd Couple and Deception. A vet team, a rookie team, two very different types of teams who are no doubt going to clash because of one specific person.
I wonder who that could be.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of fun to see, but it's gonna be a little wild. Molly, I'll start with you. Thoughts on the match and who you think's gonna take it?
I didn't even think about Shannon and Roxy. That's a Shannon and Roxy match.
Shannon and Roxy match.
Anytime we can get Shannon and Roxy cat fighting on screen, it's chef's kiss. Yeah. I'm very excited for this.
Hold on. Is what Leo said true? Is Shannon currently 3-0 over Roxy?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
That's insane.
So she's already got the season victory. Now it's just like the cherry on top for her, you know?
But Roxy's very scrappy. You know, you got to give her that.
Scrappy.
So I always look forward to seeing both of them talk smack to each other or anyone.
And this is a big deal too because
that
is true.
Say for some reason Founding Fathers loses, the only chance they have is Dan Murrell defending the belt at Spectacular, and at that point it may even be out of reach if Corruption keeps winning. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword at this point. Like if you don't win, you know you could be helping out another team because it's getting so tight at the end.
That's crazy.
Not to mention. If Deception wins, this will be the third time Snyder has lost third time Snyder has lost to Adam Collins in some capacity this year.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, the horror.
The horror and
Oof.
Wow.
That would be rough in one season, and that's like within months of each other.
Well, and then Corruption won the singles tournament. Corruption won the Inner Geekdom tournament. Corruption won the horror free-for-all. like they could literally win like a majority of these tournaments. That's insane to me. That's crazy.
I think between Adam Collins and Marisol, everyone knows that the two of them are giving pretty much everyone a run for their money, and I think it's gonna light a fire under a lot of people's butts. I think that maybe haven't been studying the way that they used to, like in their prime, maybe. So some of the like the Odd Couple, for example, like I feel like they might be scrambling to study harder because of a team like Deception.
Because they realize they're not just rookies; they're freaking good.
Yeah, well, you can call them rookies all day long, but they keep winning.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, yeah, and to me, the whole rookie thing is like all based off of experience. They've gotten their experience.
Yeah.
Like their experience was done weeks ago, and so that, to me, like you said, they're not really rookies anymore. I mean, Adam Collins is 7-0,
oh my
6-0, 7-0,
That's
and Marisol has played 2 or 3 matches already. You know, it's like.
Not to mention she was the killing blow of their last match.
Yeah, she's the reason why they won.
In the most boss-ass way possible.
Literally.
Yeah.
She was like, I obsessed over it during when we did the reaction, but she was like, Adam, I don't know if you can hear me, but I know this answer, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Like she was like, but I love how she did it, because she was like, I don't want to just out and say it and just like totally trample over my partner, but if you can hear me, I know it, so I hope you trust me enough, because I'm just gonna say it. Like they're a badass freaking team.
So it seems like we're all thinking Deception might take this one.
Oh, I had them winning the whole tournament, so I'm just gonna constantly root through Deception.
Yeah. To be honest, the one that scares me for Deception is Andraco.
Yeah.
Because Andraco is very good. And I'm not saying Snyder isn't, but like Andraco kind of has this like laser focus. Like when he's on, don't get in his way.
And Andraco has different strengths than what a lot of people have too.
Yeah.
They counter each other very, very well.
Because he knows his musicals. He's pretty solid with animated.
Yep.
And
that is not jet strength at all.
No, not at all. No, they balance each other out very well. And like we've said with Collins in the singles tournament, we haven't seen a weakness from these players. So like, it's like, do they have one? Are we gonna ever find out if they do? So it's gonna be like I said, I have Deception winning the whole thing, but it's gonna be these next 2 teams matches are gonna be very interesting.
Interesting scenario. If Deception wins their semifinal match and Final Exam loses their semifinal match, then Corruption will mathematically win the faction title, according to Fouch.
Oh,
really?
So it could be over before we even reach Spectacular.
Wow,
that's big.
That is
that's like
big.
a TKO. That's essentially like a TKO on the season.
Well, with the last Deception win, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're 14 points ahead.
Somewhere around, it's in that like 14-15 range.
It's like 15 points ahead, which is what, four matches?
Insane.
Like, and they were in dead last. Like but I mean, people can come back. It all really depends on how Deception plays this match. So it'll be interesting.
There you go.
I do too. I would love to see Deception founding fathers.
No, but she wants them to win.
14 points.
There you go. 14 points ahead of Swag at the moment. That's where it is.
That's crazy.
Can always count on Leo.
Yeah, because you still have Final Exam, and then you have Ace in Star Wars, and Chandru in Inner Geekdom.
Oh man, I forget that match. That match is actually
the Inner Geekdom match.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
just keep trying to erase it from my brain, because I just still imagine Kevin with the belt. So like, I just keep forgetting that's still a thing.
Yeah, I forget that was actually happening. Okay, let's.
I'm excited though, because I miss IG and I want more of it.
I do too. I know. I am excited for more.
It feels like it's been so long.
It's been a hot second. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've had an IG match.
Let's shift to the other side of the bracket real quick. Final exam at Founding Fathers. 4 veterans, 3 people who have held titles, and 1 person who has been deemed essentially one of the best players to never hold the title in Lon Harris. And so this is going to be a big match because Swag obviously needs the points at this point. They're ahead of Founding Fathers, so they don't want to give them the points. But being so far down from Corruption and with Ace being the only match left outside of the team's tournament, they need the points.
Yeah.
Jill, I'll go to you first on this one. Who do you think?
No, you literally just did exactly what you said. You forgot. You have Chandru too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry.
You literally said.
Again, I don't want to believe that match is actually happening, guys.
It's just funny.
Anyway, move on from Chandru. The man who should not be named here. Jill.
I gotta give this one to Founding Fathers. I adore Final Exam, but this whole season, both Lon and Paul have kind of been either really great or not so hot. But to be fair, so have Founding Fathers. Roka got TKO'd this season. It's go away. The Chansey. It can't be Chansey 3 belts anymore. I'm sorry, but it could be Chansey. Here's a belt. I gotta go with Founding Fathers on this one. It's just hard to root against Dan Murrell. Although I do have Adam Collins winning the singles belt. I gotta go with Founding Fathers on this one. It tugs at my heartstrings because I love Final Exam so freaking much. But I gotta go with Founding Fathers on this one.
Brian?
I kind of am in the same boat as Jill. My heart wants Final Exam, but my brain logically is thinking Founding Fathers. To me, I feel like it's going to be the best spin of the wheel for that match. Honestly, if Roka gets Founding Fathers gets stuck with Pixar, maybe that's going to kind of depend on Dan, and that we know that could definitely be an option because Paul likes to put that on the wheel. So I mean, that could be something we see. But I mean, the same could go in the opposite way for Final Exam. They could spin something that is just shit, and it's I don't know. So I honestly think the wheel is going to be the heel of this match.
That's fair. Molly?
Early on, I had Founding Fathers going to the end in this, but I'm gonna say that
Do it.
Final Exam is gonna sneak it out in the end because they deserve it. They've gotten close so many times. I want Paul and Lon to have a big win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I
want to just send it out into the universe and make it happen.
I'm with you.
That sounded like a Disney movie because they deserve it. I love it.
But I agree.
I think karma, and they need it. They deserve it.
I agree. I think it'll come down to what they spin. I mean, that's what a lot of these matches come down to, and I don't know. It would be kind of delightful to see Lon and Paul just really hit their stride for this.
Oh, Chuck, always bringing the swag. Okay, so I know that I had told you guys this, but no, the chat doesn't know this, but we do have some special guests.
It's plural.
We have some special guests that are joining us. I didn't tell you guys.
We have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, you guys have
I assumed it was a guest, but it's plural. Oh God, I'm scared. Okay.
You would say that they are a little corrupted, but they definitely have a little deception behind them.
No! Oh my God!
Hey, guys.
Hey,
What's
look,
up, guys?
Oh my
Hey,
God.
everybody.
Sorry, I'm like obsessed with like you guys, and so I'm like panicking right now. I already expressed my love for Marisol, so like,
Well,
stop it.
I'm just amazing by how many the childs you all have.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Wow.
So many. Well, here I'll even do this. That you can see the real version.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
Molly
lot.
has like, I think Molly lost count at like 19.
Molly must sell tours to her house. That's incredible.
It's funny. I did a Zoom call last night with just like some of our regular friends, and they were like, "What the hell is in your background?" I was like, "A bunch of toys. I'm a child, and these are my children."
Yes.
These are my children.
No, you're the childs.
Yes,
Correct.
I have to
Well,
protect them.
Adam, welcome back for a second time, and Marisol, welcome to POV in general. We're happy to have you both on.
Yes.
Pleasure.
Finally.
So how's it going? How's your guys' weekend going?
Sure.
Was it
I've
a
had
weekend?
I've had
That's fair.
I've had a great weekend. My birthday was yesterday, so that was
Oh, happy
birthday!
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was all things considered. Surrounded by a lot of love. Even socially distant love, and it was the most beautiful thing in the world. It was good. It was a good weekend. It's a good time.
That's awesome.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you, guys.
Well, I know I sprung this on my fellow co-hosts here, and I know that we usually go around the horn and ask questions and stuff. But Jill, Molly, Brian, do you guys have anything you want to ask Marisol and Adam while we have them on?
Yeah, why are you guys so freaking amazing?
Good. Oh.
Why are you guys so amazing? Like,
Man, Jillian's coming in with the hard balls.
I
man.
know. I can remember those heavy hitters.
Yeah, you go first.
Was that wasn't rhetorical?
That's my question. Why are you guys so amazing?
No, I don't know.
No, how does it feel to I feel like you guys are kind of like I'm gonna use this comparison, but both of you are kind of like the Kevin Smets of the season. Like, you guys are these rookie phenoms. You're coming in. I have you guys winning the whole teams tournament. Like, and I think we all do. I think we're all pretty much hardcore deception shills here. So
I'm not offended by that prospect.
So how does that feel to get like your rookie seasons and to pretty much come in with like just taking this whole season by storm? Like, what does that feel for you guys?
It still doesn't feel real, to be honest. It really doesn't. Every day, I think I might agree. Every day, it just had to keep reminding yourself that this isn't a dream, that this is really happening. Which helps you keep every day in perspective. Which helps me try to put my best foot forward every day and act like I still have, I still have a long way to go, which I do, honestly. So it's keeping me like this constant ball of just like energy and enthusiasm, just this whirring ball of energy, just moving forward. And it's a rush.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. We love it.
Yeah, but we're honestly pretty boring, Marisol. I don't know.
Oh right, I'm sorry.
God.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
No,
right.
If they only knew the excitement we channel into this game, and it's really a matter of no, you SOBs, we're just paying attention to the questions, for God's sake. Novel concept. I don't know. It's I feel like I've been repeating myself a lot lately, so I'll try and be concise. But singles is one thing. Going into teams with Marisol has been a whole different experience. It's been it truly is a different division. And yeah, you go in and you know what you know, but it's about the dynamic between the players, especially when you're playing digitally. And as you saw in our first match, we didn't know how exactly Andrew and Ethan would do together, but we, hypothesized and postulated and theorized and all those other synonyms. And we came up with a few ideas of our own, and you saw the result. And it wasn't an exact science, but it was just the act of collaboration and realizing, we come at this as fans too. Mm-hmm. We both have watched the Schmodown obsessively. So, you're able to not just to revisit the literal game tape, but you're able to discuss what you anecdotally remember, which in our cases is a lot. So, we went into it as a unified front, and we were just excited to even have a chance in the teams division at all this year because we weren't sure, and it all is thanks to Mike and Chance winning those belts that we even had the shot in the first place.
Yeah. We're just so damn awesome.
I mean, corruption is so damn awesome. Like, let's be real. The faction in general is freaking great.
Brian, I know when I brought you into this, you went straight to corruption. This must be pretty cool for you right now.
Yeah, I would probably be the chill of the corruption. But I do have a question for Marisol. How much do you love being Lady Justice? Because I know every promo we see
I'm obsessed.
This one loses your mind.
I'm so effing obsessed because it's like a comic book character. And I'm like a huge freaking comic book nerd. And so like when I see that you do this whole Lady Justice thing, girl.
Well, that's where my inspiration is coming from. I mean, it's I have to become something other than myself. That's what the Schmodown is all about. And I have to find, the easiest way for me to do that, the place that felt I could feel the most inspired was to just think about what I think of when I think of somebody really powerful and badass, and I think of none other than Wonder Woman. I mean, it might sound cliche, but I adore her. I mean, who doesn't adore her? But she makes me feel powerful, and it's kind of like you said. I was, it is kind of that mentality when I'm doing that, and even when I was like, okay, so Lady Justice, it kind of takes on that kind of idea. And I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of have that headspace. I am kind of in that headspace. I'm just like, well, I in another world, this might be a really cool superhero if you wanted to make it. So that's how I feel. And I totally feel that in the promos. I just disappear into those.
Fire. Fire promos.
I appreciate you say that because I do really love doing the promos. I get really fucking into the promos.
Promos honestly, are freaking great.
Honestly, both of you guys do. I mean, the Lady Justice stuff, and then
both of them.
Correct.
Yeah. Sorry, correction. I apologize.
Yeah. Correction with a K. It's got to be with a K.
And I know that we've seen a lot of players over the last number of weeks and months and stuff, but it always seems to go back to corruption's promos. Like, there's a lot of good promos out there, but when we think of like promos, we think of what Laura Kelly did earlier this year. We think of Lady Justice. We think of the correction stuff from Adam, and obviously, Molly's got her promo of the year over there too. So I get it. But it just seems like that's a whole different level, and it's changed so much because it's digitally, and you got to bring so much more intensity to it. It's not just talking in the studio on a microphone. Mm-hmm. It's kind of you in your own place, figuring out what to say. And I'm sure you guys get notes and stuff like that, but it looks like you're having an absolute blast doing it from our perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even just personally for me, I knew that I was just going to be like, when it's game time, when Christian says like, let's get ready. And that starts, I'm in game mode. Like, I'm locked in. So I, from my perspective, I'm like, I'm going to throw as much as I can, into those promos because I'm going to be laser focused when the match starts, at least for now, I'm not going to say never say never. I know that I am confident that I'm going to evolve and have fun and play. Like, that's the whole point of this. Like, the characters do grow and evolve and change on this show. And I am growing into this myself because I'm really new to this. And I am going to have more fun in it in a lot of different ways. And I'm excited to do that. But right now at the moment, my promos get all my creative flourishes and maybe like yelling at the camera and doing stuff like that. And I have no time for jokes when I start playing, though. Not gonna lie.
But like, I love that though, because like when we were talking about how before your match with Drew and Ethan, we were like, how are they going to react to like the characterizations of Drew, or like how he does those subtle like heelish moves, or I mean, he's not really heelish now, but he still throws those little jabs.
He was in that match.
I mean, but like you guys were so.
That's not the exact word I'd use.
But you two were just so laser focused, as if nothing at all could phase you at all. So like I said, I'm obsessed. So y'all can do no wrong, in my opinion. So.
Wait till Marisol punches a baby in The Odd Couple.
You're not supposed to tell them.
Oh, sorry. Subscribe to Patreon.
That's great. That's great. Go ahead, Adam. Did you have something to say?
Oh, I always do. No, honestly, Marisol nailed it. You know, the promos are an escape. That's where we can really channel our passion, really think about what we really have to say, not only to our competitors, but it's a way to interact with the fans as well. And, you know, we both have a lot of perspective about, you know, what.
I just read that.
Yeah.
That's actually what my question was about.
Don't mess with her.
It may not look like it, but I've had years of experience in weightlifting. So as soon as I saw that promo and the powerlifting stuff in the background, I was like, yes.
I dabble.
That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
Look, you got to get creative when you're in lockdown and you're trying to think of ways to stay fit. All right, and gym is not an option anymore. I just gotta say that.
Fair. That's fair.
Girls got to do what a girl's got to do.
What you don't really know is that Christian discovered Marisol on the arm wrestling circuit.
She just happened to be really good at movie trivia.
Yeah.
A lot of upper body strength. But yeah, no, the promos from Marisol have been on point. I actually looked to her for inspiration when I was starting to get more into them because, that wasn't what I was thinking of. If you go back to my Gallagher match, my promo is a joke. It's really bad. So
I didn't think it was bad.
Well, I think it's kind of
it feels so long ago.
It does feel so long ago.
I'm self-critical of it just because, like, I once I started collaborating with Shannon and Christian on character a little bit more, it's still a work in progress. But looking back on that, I really didn't have any point of reference. And then by the Roca match, I had more direction. I had something that I could collaborate with them on. So since then, I've just been trying to make them fun. Channel a little bit of that energy from Shannon. I'm not going to try and be as evil as she is, just because I think it wouldn't ring true. But I've tried to, from match to match, add a little bit more to each one, whatever that translates to. But Marisol sets the standard for all the rookies this season, in my opinion.
No. Yeah, just after you, completely dominating the league. Yeah, sure.
Well, your promos are on point. What can I say? They made me look cool in that last one. At least I think so.
Hey, the new backdrop.
You did that all by yourself, man. But yeah,
the new backdrop was a good touch. I gotta say.
Yeah, I call this one the Residence Inn. I'm on the road for work, so I apologize for all the beige.
No,
you're good.
I mean, like, seriously, all the Yodas and everything. I'm just like, entertained by your backgrounds.
So we do have a. Oh, go ahead, Molly.
Oh, sorry. I had a kind of a part 2, I guess, question for Adam. So you don't strike me as the type of person to panic. But when your internet cut out in this last match that we saw, was there any bit of panic happening on your end, or did you still hear what was being asked and you were like, Marisol's got this?
So here's a fun behind the scenes story. As I've alluded to in other shows, and as you can see tonight, I travel a lot for my job. So my internet is sometimes to varying degrees. Now, I happen to be doing that from where I lived at the time, but the internet situation there was iffy. So for matches, I would usually hook up to my personal hotspot, which was normally my failsafe. Well, my data ran out during the match.
Oh no.
So, and not my overall data, just my hotspot data, because even when you pay for unlimited, you only get like 15 or 20 gigs a month. Yeah. And I need my personal hotspot all the time for my job. So, but I thought I was good, and it crapped out literally at that moment. There was nothing I could do. Nothing.
Oh my God.
And I heard choppy responses. And then I heard Marisol. I just heard train. And then I heard, and your winner. and then I just like reset my Wi-Fi and got onto the regular internet and got back in time. But yeah, that was how it was meant to be. That was Marisol's moment, and it was the most poetic way to end that match. That's why I said on another show. But
it was so badass.
It was so, and I've said it multiple times. I think that moment really solidified how you guys work as like a team, because Marisol didn't just like come out and say, "Oh, I'm going to ignore Adam while he's having these internet difficulties," and just like say it. She was like, "Adam, I don't know if you can hear me, but I know what it is. So I'm going to wait a second to see if you come back before I say it." And then like you were still like having difficulty. She was like, "Okay, I know it. So I'm just going to say it." And then like it was so good and so badass. Like that moment was just pure dramatic movie perfection. Like it was like so good.
And the best part of this is like, it's a train.
It's a train.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, it's just I think just a testament to, just I think how well matched we are as partners. I just like, and what Adam was talking about, how the chemistry, like when you see the dynamic work is how you really know when, like, you know, you never know what you're going to get asked. We can get asked anything on the planet. But when you have somebody that you really know and you trust, you can ask us anything. Like, I mean, I don't mean literally us. I just mean like when you are with somebody who you like truly trust, and you know, and you have confidence in that person, you feel like the world can ask you anything. And as long as, and you can tackle it as long as you have that person. And that's 1,000% how I feel about Adam. And when they asked that question, the second I heard it, I knew it. Like I knew it the second I heard it. I knew it. But that wasn't, I mean, it's kind of like, well, you're right when you said, like, Joe, that wasn't my priority. Like, I'm not going to blurt out an answer. Neither he or I are going to blurt out an answer. We're not the team that's going to do that. We're not the team that does that. We confer, and we're always going to confer, because either one of us knows it or the other one does and the other one doesn't, you know, and we're always going to talk it out. And he was my priority. Like at that moment, like no matter what, even at that moment, he was my priority. I have to make sure I have my partner with me, and I was going to make sure that I had him with me and that we were there and we were together and we were on the same page. Even if I knew it, which I did. And so, yeah, I just had to make sure he wasn't lost to sea over there, you know?
Look, Marisol knows I'm 80 years old at heart. And she knows that. So like when my internet started cutting out, I was like, all right, I got this, dork. All right. Like just sit back. I got this. But no, she gives me a lot of credit, but honestly, in the age of COVID, you know, these study sessions are just, they're an escape for all of us. It's a way to prepare for matches. And sometimes it's not literally drilling movie facts. It's about having conversations about film. And that's how you absorb a lot more information on an exponential level, because then you start making personal connections to all of these things you're discussing. So, you know, there's just been situations where we've gotten tangentially like locked into like one person's filmography, and thanks, buddy. Thank you so much. Yeah. Martin Starr, Bo Bites, Jesus Christ, whatever you want to but yeah, no, we've developed a rapport, and we found a good way to you know, get along in the team situation, and yeah, God help everybody when we can get it in studio and we don't have to like just confer on camera.
When you play an official match, you mean?
Oh yeah, when we play a real match with real questions in a real place. Yeah. No, when we finally play in studio. No, Marisol and I, we find it funny that we get singled out for being the only ones who have. I guess it's our fault the digital matches exist, right, Marisol?
How dare you?
Undoubtedly.
How dare you guys?
I think we also caused COVID too. I think corruption can add that to their resume. But yeah, no, honestly, it's been a pleasure in the team division.
Well,
I was just to say, it goes back to what we've been talking about all year, is that the factions at the top are the ones who have the most chemistry, and the ones who take the time with each other, and they talk with each other, and it clearly is working for you two. You know, you guys only have one match under your belt, and look at the way it's going already. So, I mean, kudos to Shannon, kudos to you two, kudos to the entire corruption faction, because it's totally working.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. It's very nice to say. We're just taking it. I mean, it's cliche to say a match at a time, but that is how we operate. You know, we cannot think ahead. It's just not how we function, any of us. And the only complaint I have is that there's just there weren't more matches available because we have some real talent in our faction that barely got to see the light of day this year. And I'm
Laura.
hoping I'll get more opportunities. Yeah, Laura. I mean, even though she only had the one match in the digital tournament, I mean, just look at the impact she had. You know,
yes.
You know, and people want to see more of her. And then Mark Hoyk late in the season. I mean, the guy showed up, and everyone's like, "Wait, that's right, Mark Hoyk."
Yes,
Mark Hoyk is here.
Yeah, so we're hoping to see a lot more of our faction in action early 2021.
Well, I will say, next when studio tapings are safe and they're a thing, and y'all are in studio, I will gladly buy you 2 shots. And, we're gonna have a good time. So I can't wait to have those studio matches, even though the freaking digital matches are 100% real. Andrew Guy.
They do count for against your record.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I just.
Go ahead, Brian.
You want to do yours? Oh no, I was just gonna say, to add to that, Marisol. It kind of, I mean, for me, it kind of must have
true.
felt a little bit. Of course, this guy. It
must have felt like Jameson. He partakes.
Oh, I know. We all, everyone at this point. But for you, I feel like it must have felt kind of a little bit good because I mean, there undoubtedly was those people that coming into the tournament were like, Adam just came off a run in the singles, and how is he going to do in teams? Is Marisol going to be at the level of him? And then you literally death punched the last question with like, hold on, let me just end this right now. And it was just like, I mean, for me, I'm just like, holy shit. Like that's scary. Like, I don't need him. Like, as much as we work together, like I can hold my own just as well. So, I mean, that had to feel a little satisfying at that point.
God, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like that's the beauty of teams. The beauty of teams is discovering what each one is going to bring to the table, and just spinning gold. You know, when the two of you get together. Look. We all know just one of the things that Adam is going to bring to the table. You know, am I going to go 9 for 9 in round 1? What I've shown so far in the game, no, I'm not going to. You know, like what you've seen from me so far in this game, sure. You know, and I know people like, you know, on paper, it's just like, oh, okay. Like right there, even just from that match alone, people can say, oh, you know, Marisol's obviously a great B player, you know, to Adam's A. You know, you could spin it any way that you want. And I'm okay with any way that you spin it because you can't quantify my talents or my abilities or what I'm going to bring to the table. And you can't really predict it. Knowing myself and what I bring to the table as a competitor. And I'm A-okay with that, you know, because one game, maybe I will go 9 for 9 in round 1. And then another game, I'll have a game like this where, I just Falcon punch a KO into my opponent's face. Yeah, maybe I will. You know, and I want to just build on that and continue with that. I think it will keep me at least unpredictable, and it's those kind of possibilities. I never know what I'm going to get with this guy as my partner. And I like the versatility of that. I like that I have different abilities as a player, and I mean, okay with that. When I have moments like that, they feel really good.
That's so refreshing to hear because I mean, Alex is not my partner in anything in the Schmodown, but I constantly am compared to him, and he's like the best of Star Wars. So I always feel like the B Star Wars player compared to someone like him. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, I feel like I bring a lot of different things to the table.
Damn right you do. Damn like, right you do.
There is sometimes where I know things that he doesn't. Believe it or not.
He said in last spectacular that 10 horn Darth Maul question was 100% you. So
honestly, I think it's just my ability to think about how PJ writes questions. I'm like,
how
okay,
you gotta do it. It's like WWPD. What would PJ do? Like that's how you just like think of stuff.
So and that's just a great way for every player to think. That's a great mindset to have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm still holding out hope for you and Alex to debut in the teams division next year as the Demonic Damons.
Because I know
you both have sneaky singles knowledge. I remember Alex getting the Orlando Jones question from the replacements in the championship match, and no one talks about that. That was his 5-pointer, and he didn't break a sweat on it. And I'll admit, I didn't think he'd pull that, and I was like, okay, all right. So maybe Alex could be a 4-division player.
He was very proud of knowing A sports.
A sport.
A sport.
He was proud of knowing sports.
Okay, so we do have 2 Streamlabs that have come through for Deception here that I want to make sure I get to. And this first one's from Kylie. She's like our resident corruption. She is all about it. And she says, as someone who wasn't
to the death.
Yes.
She will fight you if you are against
corruption.
corruption. She will fight you.
She says, as someone who wasn't a fan of the Lethal Weapons antics, I'm super impressed and proud of you two of how you handled it. Thanks for being a great example on how the game is played and not making stupid excuses. Can't wait till you both get gold soon.
Thank you.
Hell yeah,
We don't like stupid excuses in this household. I said I would not go into tea time today, so I am not going to.
There were definitely some antics going on there with the Lethal Weapons. If they're going to stay a team, they have a ways to go, I think.
Me too.
Agreed.
And Irwin, yes, agreed. Irwin, no complaints about that guy.
Irwin's a class act.
The other guy, he was something. But honestly, obviously we understand a bit of that is, part of the show. And I think
it's a big part of the show. It's not a little part. I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish.
Yeah, no. Honestly, all I was going to say is that I give him credit for making it entertaining. And, he was able to, bring out a few people in the fan base who kind of agree with that. But also, it's just encouraging to see the way people, argue against it too. And you can kind of just sit back and see that, the good outweighs the bad in the wake of these things.
Yeah. You could say that Andrew Guy is the king of the backhanded compliment at this point.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. He navigates that pretty effortlessly. It was actually impressive. Considering being roasted, I was almost like honored to get roasted. I was just like, wow. Like
it is Andrew Guy.
Continue.
So
I'm offended, but continue.
Please continue roasting. What else do you have to say?
But I mean, I'm not offended. It does bring up an interesting. This match in particular does bring up, like the most interesting, like a hotly debated, the situation, like a topic, are we trading like our entertainment, which is on everybody's concerned about it. I get it's on everybody's mind because, it is the pandemic has created this digital age and we're making the best that we can of it. So people are adjusting to it well and some people aren't. And I know a lot of people are having trouble with, they feel like they're losing the entertainment value of the Schmodown. I know a lot of people feel that. And a lot of things are getting thrown in the mix. I think some things are getting used as scapegoats. I think that we're an example of something that's getting used as a scapegoat for that. Because I just think it would be different. This is one of those things where, going into the studio would be different because it's different. It's different to convey yourself as a new person into a new environment if you're immersed in that environment. Yeah. That comes a lot more naturally, especially to some people. I'm one of those people that does make a difference too. I do blossom a lot in person. And it is challenging for me to do it over a computer screen to strangers, like people that I literally are meeting seconds before. They're like, all right, here we go. We're filming. Here we go. You ready? Let's do this.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. So I'm just like, shut up. Don't talk to me. I'm just going to answer some questions, and I do that. And there's part of that that's on purpose. And part of it is just happening naturally. And the bottom line is that no matter what, like everybody is trying, like I'm trying, Adam's trying. and nobody, I know it's not that simple, but like nobody is trying to be boring. And no, yeah, I know I'm not
boring.
You are sweet. I understand that I don't.
Not remotely.
And I'm not saying that I am.
Go off. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I think they're boring.
I do think it's curious. It's a curious criticism to bring into character work. Like, I do think it's a curious angle to bring into character work, because it is something that is stemming from both social insecurities and being new to an environment. And I know it's a tricky thing where you either capitalize it or you just realize that this is a situation beyond people's control, and it's just, stemming. It's
Aaron.
But yeah, the long and short of it is just that, like, I am only going to continue to grow, not take it too personally, not take these criticisms too personally, and let people get the jabs in where they can. But I have to stay true to myself and try to give the best that I can give, which is what I am doing every time. And I know Adam's doing the same exact thing. We're just trying to do right by everybody who's watching this show. And we're giving the best that we can do. And it'll land with some people. It's natural. It'll land with some people and it won't land with other people. And everybody is entitled to their opinion. But the people who really go too far with it and it is baseless and they're not keeping it in perspective, those people can just kind of go in the corner.
They can suck it.
Most, if the criticisms are fair and true and looking at the bigger picture and looking at it and keeping it all in perspective, I'm up for that. I'm up for that conversation. But unfortunately some people do get carried away with it.
Well, like I said, y'all are not boring. Like, there is a reason. If you were boring, I would not be obsessed with you guys like I am. And you guys are freaking far from boring. And like I said, I can literally just spend the next 12 hours just like preaching everything about you guys. I could just like, so I will refrain. But
well, and honestly, I'm not just saying this, we've talked about it off air, in the sessions and whatnot. We watch your show too. And we appreciate your guys' work and perspective on everything that takes place. And we know you're into it. So thank you. As far as, this focus on Guy, it's not just about taking Guy literally. Like, we understand it's character work. Mm-hmm. We understand 100%. That, it's not him like literally like, telling us we suck at life. But at the same time, his character articulates a real conversation that's happening within the fan base. And it's not that determines how we're going to perform in a match, but we can't help but take the temperature of the room and see what people are feeling. And it's not that we're going to react to every single thing that people are talking about, but, speaking personally, like, I know how much work I put into this. I don't expect to be everyone's favorite competitor. But at the same time, it's amazing when you put yourself out there, how quickly you discover people turn you into just a superficial commodity. And they're just like, hey, it's if you're not good at answering questions, but your character's great, they're like, why aren't they good at answering questions? And then if you're good at answering questions, but you're, not trying to make a life in Hollywood, they're like, well, why aren't they tap dancing and juggling, flaming ducks? Like, I don't understand, entirely what's going to entertain everybody, but I do know that I love playing the actual game, and everything that surrounds that, I'm working on it. And it's really been helpful to have people like Marisol and Shannon and everyone else in Corruption to really have my back and give me perspective, when you run into some of those discouraging little hurdles once in a while. But the good far outweighs the bad, and it definitely encourages us to keep playing. I feel like we are both just getting started.
Damn right.
I would agree with that.
Damn right.
Yeah.
I do have two Streamlabs I want to get to before we do some other questions, because I want to get to some stuff here. This one comes from Canada Rocks, and he says, totally rooting for Deception. Marisol staying cool, calm, and collected during the final question is my favorite moment of the year so far. P.S. The coyote is the natural enemy of the goat.
Oh.
And then this next one comes from Swagathon. Collins, do you bleed? You will. Hashtag drip drip.
Oh God.
So I do want to ask because obviously the team's tournament is quickly kind of starting to come to a close a little bit. We're here into the semifinals this week. We have a match with you guys playing the Odd Couple. And I know Brian Nussbaum in the chat had asked a couple times. He wanted to know, first of all, how are you feeling going up against Jeff Snyder and Marco Draco? And then second, and I know it's hard to look past someone, but he asked if you had the choice of between facing either Final Exam or Founding Fathers, what would your choice be? But we can start with the Odd Couple part of this.
Marisol, please.
Oh gosh. I am so excited for Odd Couple. I am so ready. I am even more excited to be going into it with you, Adam. Like for teams, it's kind of how, honestly, it's how I felt. It's how I felt even after like my Bonnie match, where I knew I was facing Oyama next. And, like in theory, it was my second match and on paper it could have been like, oh God, well, I'm just nervous, like it's just an honor to be here. And, like I might lose, but whatever happens. It's just, I'll just be excited to just kind of show what I got. I didn't feel like that going into it. I was just like, no, I love this. And I'm really confident in myself. And I think I could really kick ass at this,
yes.
And I'm ready to play this guy. Yeah, I'm ready to play this guy and beat him, and that was where my head was at, and obviously whatever happens. If I lose, I'm going to go down fighting. That's the only thing that I knew. Like that's how I thought about it in perspective about losing, like I'm going to go down fighting. I'm not going to look at it. It's like, oh, I'm just going to be optimistic and hope that I hope that I do well. No, I was going in it like ready to win.
And
like,
you're gonna.
When you get a taste for it and then you face your next challenge and it's a big challenge instead of it just makes you rise to that occasion that much more. And that's how I feel about Odd Couple. Not that Lethal Weapons was a pushover at all. Those are two guys who have been playing this for a while and are veterans and are well versed in this game and what it takes to be successful in this game. But directly facing like former champs is a level up. It's the next level. It's exciting. It's nothing but exciting to just show what we're going to do. And we're going to be out for blood and we're going to give them everything that we have. And there's no taking the foot off the gas. I don't have any second guesses about it. I'm not nervous about it. I'm just ready to go in, just guns blazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I Marisol, put it so delicately, but I agree. Having Marisol as my partner has been a huge confidence boost because, she fills in gaps that I will not disclose to your audience. And then there's also because of how much we've worked with our faction mates. You start to pick up on what one another does and doesn't know, or what you both know. So, there can be moments where, you yield to each other and stuff like that. We discovered that in our first match. So with Odd Couple, I think what's unique about us is we're the first, and I pointed this out once or twice before, but we're the first ever truly rookie team, as far as I'm aware, because it's always about taking one decent rookie or really good rookie and putting them with some established player, which has a lot of great results.
Yep.
But Marisol and I got thrown into this really coming from a similar background. And so we felt like we had that much more to prove, regardless of how we ended up doing in our respective singles matches. We reset it and we're like, now we got to prove ourselves as a team. Mm-hmm. So Lethal Weapons was one thing, but going against Odd Couple's a different story because these guys have not only a record, but a winning record. They are former champions, and they also have really good chemistry. So going into this match, we're just kind of changing the mentality and making sure that we're prepared to play opponents who are a little bit more tuned into each other than, frankly, Irwin and Guy ended up being.
Yeah.
And that's going to be something to contend with. So, this is a stacked tournament, and it's so narrow, and so to already be in the semifinals after one match is kind of crazy, especially after that singles thing that we just lived through. So
that's what I've been saying for like the past couple of days. It's like, wait, we're already at the semifinals. Wait, what? because we were so used to the teams tournament where it was like, it's been 7 weeks and we just got to the quarterfinals, like where it was just like this long, huge thing, and now we're already at the semis. It's insane. So it's
and I will say this, and teams tournament isn't done, but this is in 3 weeks.
Yes, it is.
That's in 3 weeks. And Adam, I got to ask, because obviously, a year ago or 6 months ago, you weren't in the Schmodown. You got picked up during free agency, and now you look at a Brian Ward made poster where it's you versus Dan Murrell. Like, how crazy does that feel going into Spectacular, the biggest event for the Schmodown, for the most coveted title of the Schmodown?
It's it gives me a lot of perspective. I'm excited by it. And it's humbling too, but at the same time, you get what you put into this. And when I got my chance, I know what I know. And it was just about implementing it as soon as they gave me an opportunity. And I'm excited about these minor leagues that Christian talks about, because the fan leagues as they exist now are just such an exciting battleground of raw talent. And you have people from all walks of life, all varying levels of knowledge. You have categories being invented the day of the match. It's craziness. But it's also a lot of fun. It's a great way to cut your teeth if you want to play in the Schmodown. And once I finally got to the Schmodown, and it's just so regulated, and there's like a set list of categories and stuff like that. Like, I was able to just start honing in on what I was already doing in all these other leagues, and it just channeling it match to match to get this far is really exciting. And I go into this match with Dan with a nothing but perspective, but also a good level of confidence, not cockiness, but confidence, because I do know a lot about film, a lot. And it's because I've been obsessed with it my entire life. It's not because I'm trying to, go challenge a guy on the street to trivia contest. It's just, like I used to channel it into bar trivia or Trivia Pursuit with my friends, or just, just glomming onto that one person at a party who would want to talk about movies. So to find this family, it just nurtured that. And so to get to the point where I'm playing Dan, no matter what happens, I want it to be entertaining, and I want it to be deserving of being in the Schmodown. And I'm confident I can do that no matter what.
Yeah. Can I just say too, for both of you guys, you're just so freaking humble. Like both of you, like you'll come in and you'll just completely dominate, and you're just like, thank you for having me. You guys are great. Like I just TKO'd this team, but they're amazing and I love them so much. Like I think I say it every time either you play together or Marisol plays or when Adam you play. I'm like, they're so freaking humble and they're just so freaking happy to be here. Like you're destroying everyone in your wake, and you're just like, they're so great. I love them. I can't wait to see them compete again. Like it's so I love seeing it, to be honest, because it's like it's kind of refreshing, because sometimes we get like the people that come in and just completely dominate and like, yeah, you suck, like we'll see you next season, like meh. But you're like, oh, they're so great and I love them and you did great, good job. Like it's like I love it. Like I love it.
Hey, I appreciate getting that feedback, because we have been reminded a couple times to remember that we are representing corruption.
That's the thing too. It's like you're on corruption.
That's
but
sweet and all what you just did right there, but cut the shit.
Sorry.
Like,
I mean, you guys are so mean.
Gotten that feedback. Yeah, we've gotten that feedback. Yeah. So,
well,
it's just
I mean, I won't bring it up anymore. Then I'm sorry.
No. Trust me. That's where my instinct is. So I'm just like, yeah.
I mean, Marisol, what you said about really flourishing more in person only makes me look forward more and more to when we can get you guys into a studio.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
When you play that official match.
That first official match in studio.
Right. when we're able to stop wearing pull-ups, Marisol.
Right. This is the training wheels, apparently. Yeah. Even though everybody forgets that argument when we see some of the most impressive players who've ever come from the fan leagues. Mr. Oyama himself, Chance, Smets, the people who had played digitally forever and then exploded into the studio and were excellent when they came to the studio. Somehow that is magically all forgotten and erased and not considered, and wasn't considered at all until Mr. Collins became so dominant.
Well, and
I don't know.
I'll give
what
you
do
a
I know
scoop.
though?
I'll give you a scoop, and this is some really hot stuff. People talk about like, how are they going to do in their studio matches, live matches? Speaking personally, I will have you know that I played the Cat in the Hat in my high school production of Seussical, sold out 3 weeks in a row. I got nothing to fear. Nothing. Put me on Broadway. I'm ready tomorrow. We have a true
thespian in the household.
I retired from acting when I was 20, which was an undisclosed number of years ago. But I'm trying to channel a little. Like I know I'm not a functioning thespian, guys, but I'm working on it.
I have nothing but, from everything that I've learned and grown to know about Adam, I have nothing but confidence in him. And the people making those kind of criticisms are making those criticisms from a place that, really depends. It's a very interesting criticism too. Like they're like, well, let's see what happens when they go in the studio. Cause it really is depending on how much you actually know about that person. And the people making those kind of criticisms don't know anything about the people that they're making it out of. And so if you actually get to know me, or if you know anything about me, like I've spent my whole life playing sports, and there's nothing that scares me about performing or having to deliver on a high pressure stage in front of a lot of people. Like there's not a lot that intimidates me in that sense. I got pretty comfortable doing it. It is, and those kind of instincts are they're transferable, and they can be really universal when you have that kind of confidence in yourself and in your ability to perform under pressure. And not only that, but I also like, if there's any place that I'm going to be able to focus and even in like a new situation or with like burning lights in my face, it's when I'm answering questions about the things I love the most on this planet, which are film, which are movies. Like, if there's anything that I could speak confidently about and talk like I'm like Neil deGrasse Tyson, I will talk about movies. There's nothing I could speak more confidently about in the world than movies. I know a lot about them. I love them. And you get a confidence right there from knowing those things about them. And I know that Adam, that you probably feel the same way about that. Like, you know what you know, and you're confident in that. And that confidence can push you through over a lot of hurdles. It pushes me over it in a digital environment. And it's only going to continue to do that when I actually get into a studio, because that's not an unknown there. You're not tapping into any insecurities. You're tapping into the thing that I love the most and I could talk the most about in my life. So yeah, give me some questions. Let's go.
Love it.
Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter where. Just give me some damn trivia questions.
Yeah.
There's no hesitation.
And for me, my mindset of this is like, we can't wait to see how they do in a studio setting. It's like, you two are being so dominant in a virtual age, not having met in person before. Just imagine how dominant you're going to be when you're face to face in the same room with that same aura with each other. Like, they think you're going to be worse. Like, no, you guys are just going to continue to freaking dominate even harder in that studio setting. Like, it's going to be a firestorm. And
you got to keep in mind too, that we're both very highly motivated as people who love this game for the right reasons. And we're making the most of COVID age of Schmodown, like everybody is. And there is an added level of pressure when you play online, because sometimes you are very much alone. And whether you win or lose, it can be discouraging after the match is over to be in an empty room. Yeah. And I can only imagine us thriving when we're feeding off the energy of our faction mates, our competitors, other people just there to watch the show. I am not in this because I'm trying to put my name out there for something else. I'm in it because I love playing this game and I love the Schmodown and I want to see it grow. And if my participation or Marisol's participation can raise the tide in any way, then I think we're doing something right. And I know we're really focused on continuing this next season, preferably as a team.
I can guarantee you that first studio match that you guys have as a team, that audience is going to be full. It is going to be
so jealous.
It's going to be standing room only.
I'm gonna be so jealous.
And we will partake in my infamous Jameson bottle, and it will be a party.
Yes.
I think we can both take
I'm
care
here
of
for it. What's that?
We could take care of some Jameson, right?
Oh yeah, you line it up. I don't
We
care.
have whiskey nights and corruption, but Mike doesn't like whiskey, so he drinks punch or something. But
No, yeah, I'll throw them back. We can get it.
Boom.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, before we let you guys, or Brian, do you have a question?
Yes, I do have one question. Marisol, since it's the first time talking to you, your first match is probably one of my favorite of all time.
Mine too.
How?
Literally.
How? I cannot imagine the mindset because, like, Bonnie was hilarious. I don't know how you weren't just like dying laughing.
I was dying.
We
was
were
the
like,
best.
I could not control myself from just crying laughing, and you were just sitting there like, all right, next question. I don't know how you
not
did
even
that,
phased. Not even phased.
but how was that for your debut? Like one of the craziest, most fun matches I think I've ever seen.
Janish,
and that was your debut.
Pause. Janish, what the Frank?
oh,
Frank.
Get out of here.
What the Frank? I love you, Frank. I love you, Janish.
Damn it, Adam, we did it again.
can't even entertain us with these numbers.
It's just weak sauce. We're just weak sauce.
We'll get there.
Oh no, I mean, I could not have asked for more. I was blessed with a great stage for a debut. I was honored to be playing against one of the liveliest, most memorable Schmodown competitors of all time. Like Somerville, it's unreal. It was uber difficult to keep a straight face. So I was ready to be like, I'm just gonna be focused. This is what I'm just gonna be super focused. I'm gonna show everybody that I'm no nonsense, and I'm gonna make quick work of this. I love Bonnie. She's a peach. We love her, but she's a little soft in the trivia knowledge. Like she's a little soft in the trivia area. So I'm gonna make quick work of this. Like that was my intention going into this game. I'm gonna bulldoze through this woman. And I wasn't anticipating that it was going to be really hard to focus because she's just like wiggling and worming and spazzing like left and right, and I was just like okay. I just had to keep focused. I'm pretty sure I broke a couple times. Like sometimes I just couldn't stop. There were a couple times where I definitely started laughing during it. But it did take some effort, but then I spun it, and the second I just started focusing and listening to questions and then being like, oh, I know that one. And just answering the questions, it makes it a lot easier. Like once you get into that rhythm, which I feel like anybody will probably tell you, everybody who's competed in this and done it will tell you, like, once you get into that rhythm, it's hard to get out of it. It's hard for anything to shake you once you get into that zone. And that definitely happened with me in that match.
Not even to mention this part right here, the pool guy, even everything. You got thrown everything to throw you off.
That match is, I told Shannon and I said, this is one of my honest to God favorite matches of the season. Like, it was so good. It was so good.
The three most controversial figures in matches this season were Bonnie's pool guy, David Del Rio's cleaning lady, and Josh McCouga's wife. That's right.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Oh my God.
Good.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Marisol, Adam, I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out and stopping a little bit later. But it was an absolute pleasure to get to talk to you and get a little insight on what Deception has going on this season.
Y'all have an open invite. Y'all want to come on? Just give us the word.
Oh wait, we've asked Adam, but we haven't asked.
We need
Marisol
okay.
her
Yeah.
questions.
We'll finish with this. Marisol, what is your favorite movie, snack, and candy?
All right, so I mean, movie snack. I'm a purist. I'm a purist, and I haven't done this in a while because like I'm trying not to have a heart attack. But my go-to, my staple, is the jumboest tub a movie theater will legally give me. All right. I am going to whatever XXL is. I buy XXL tub of popcorn, preferably if it's like the plastic kind, like a keep safe kind, or like a saver kind for a movie premiere or something like that. And they give you like the collectible plastic ones, even better. But I get the big jumbo one. Dump a bunch of butter on it, and I tank it. So I usually need another person to do it. I tank it before the previews are over, so we can go back and get our free refill.
Free refill.
Refill. And then we're back by the time credits come up. We're back and we're Gucci. We're good to go for the next 2 hours.
I'm all about
Don't
that.
say his name, Marisol.
Don't say it 3 times. I
careful.
won't say it 2 more times.
Yeah, just about to say that. 2 more.
2 more times. But yeah, that's a tradition. This is a wee little lass. That has been a tradition. Favorite candy? Oh shit. Oh God, I've been so. I've evolved a lot with my sweet tooth, so now I might sound like a total Karen with this, but like I just like nibbling on dark chocolate. I really do. 77% is my acquired taste right there. With my level of
That's
bitterness.
also the ABV she likes in her whiskey.
Yes, exactly. But when I feel like being bad, when I feel like just like when nobody's looking and mama kicks her feet up, she definitely reaches for the big cup of the Reese's peanut butter cups. Like the big cup. The one that's like extra stacked with peanut butter.
Like
because
big.
yeah, where it's just like loaded with peanut butter, because the peanut butter was always my favorite. Like I need that ratio of more peanut butter to chocolate.
Perfect.
That's my
Nice.
jam.
Love it. Well, yeah, again, thank you to both of you for coming on and hanging out. As Jill said, open invitation anytime.
Yes.
We'd love to have you guys. We can't wait for the match this week. We can't wait for Spectacular. And we can't wait for next season, obviously. So awesome job so far, and good luck to everything.
Thank you so much,
I was
guys.
honored. You guys are the best. Your show is terrific.
Oh,
You guys always give us the sass and the perspective and the truth.
We're always here. We're always here for the set.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, and good luck.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Oh my God. Well,
You killed Jill.
I died.
Jill
I
is
literally
broken.
Sorry.
I literally died.
Sorry.
I literally tweeted. I said, "Oh my God, Marisol and Adam just popped in POV, and I'm kind of fangirling. Like I might die."
So
Like-
yeah, I had talked to them on Thursday after their match, and they were like all on board.
Such a good surprise.
And it's funny. I was gonna say something in the chat on Friday, but I was like, you know what? I think it'd be a lot more fun just to surprise them
I wanna
on
see
live
Jill
stream.
die. I want to see Jill die.
Remember when
So-
Jill started this tired?
Yeah.
I know. I was like, I'm tired. Let's just go. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God. We had Haleigh Foutch, who was great, and then we had Deception. Now I'm all like, more people. Let's go.
No more surprises tonight. No more surprises tonight. So, but yeah, I mean,
Alex
look,
Damon is here. No.
Alex Raymond.
He's
Strong
downstairs
comes in.
playing Spider-Man.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, he's definitely studying.
Yeah.
Well, he should be.
Study. You need to study. We can't have swag taking it.
but yeah, that was a great show. That was a really good show.
I needed that. I needed that.
First time Haleigh had ever joined an after show, and she was great, talking some really cool things. Getting a set, and I know Adam and Marisol have been making the rounds all weekend since they won, and it was very, very nice of them to hang out with us, which was awesome. So, I had a lot of fun. That was awesome.
That was so fun. Oh my gosh.
That's true.
I was
forgot
kind of
about
embarrassed because I literally tweeted at Marisol like, "Hi, my name is Jillian and I'm obsessed with Marisol," and she like retweeted it and was like, "You're great." And then she came on and I was like, "Oh God, she knows who I am.
Okay, so before we got here, I do want to thank our patrons, and I made a little fancy little image, and thank you guys so much for supporting us and for the Starburst. Mr. Billy Polyhan, Brandy Parker, Rachel, Kylie, Canada Rocks, Reefton, and Ricardo Franco. As the Starburst. But to all of our patrons, thank you guys so much for the support the last couple months. This show, obviously, it works, but it does not work as good as it is without you guys.
Thank you guys.
And so thank you so much for everything that you guys do.
All of you guys, we love. I mean, the Discord, I check at least a couple dozen times a day.
Oh, I check it all day, every day.
Yeah. It's so much fun having all you guys talk to and visiting islands in the Animal Crossing.
Visit all of our Animal Crossing islands.
Yes.
Okay, so before we get out of here, let's just make the rounds real quick where everybody can find us online outside of Schmodown POV. Jill, why don't you start us off?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram, Jilly Marie, 2 Y's, 2 E's. You can also sometimes catch me over on the I think they're calling themselves the Pajukin now. It's the PJ Campbell Network.
That's all thanks to Maxwell.
Thanks, Max. It's Pajukin. If they're still doing their unwind, I'm probably going to hop in there as soon as we're done with this. So, yeah, you can find me ranting about all the latest nonsense and drama on my Twitter.
Yes, you can.
Party. And that's where I'll leave
Brian?
that conversation.
Be Evolcino on Twitter and Instagram.
And Molly?
At Molly Damon on Twitter and Twitch. At Molly Mander, like Charmander on Instagram.
Love it.
And me and Alex are over on Star Wars Explained, talking about Star Wars.
Explaining Star Trek.
Yep.
Yes.
Sometimes Star Trek falls in there every so often.
I'm gonna do a Streamlabs one of these, or is it Streamlabs in one of your Legos and put an Indiana Jones question just to see Alex going, oh, Indiana Jones.
Oh, he's down for it. Indie questions, bring him on.
Twitter and Instagram at Qui-Gon Jake, 2 N's because someone took it before I did. Also, Brian and I are on Brian, stop shaking your head, man. Just get used to it. You can also find Brian and I on Apocalypse Movies twice a week, which is a lot of cool stuff going on there. Schmodown POV here on the channel for Twitter. Streamlabs, if you guys have any questions throughout the week, we're going to be catching them. Obviously, the Patreon, as Kylie mentioned in the chat, we are doing our watch along this week. That's happening on Wednesday. We're going to be watching Knives Out, which is going to be really, really fun.
I've never seen it.
Yes. And remember what?
I've never seen it.
Although I shouldn't be allowed to comment ever when someone says that.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably just as bad as Brian, if not worse, when it comes to seeing movies. I just stay silent. I'm just like, So,
no.
I haven't seen it.
And then a reminder for the reaction on Thursday, it'll be pre-recorded, and so just remember it won't be live. Some of us will probably pop in the chat though, and we'll be there. Just will not be live, and we'll be back on Friday and back on Sunday as well. So. Again, to all of our guests, this was an absolute blast. For the entire crew here, for the View crew, and all of you watching, thank you guys so much for hanging out for 2 hours. Really, really good show. And then we'll see you guys back on Thursday. There, guys.
Bye.